When someone is stepping into the process of making offers on properties, getting qualified for a mortgage, one of the biggest things I hear is someone doesn't want to drain their entire bank account to get into this home. And for a good reason. One of my highest priorities when I'm working with the client is to protect their liquid cash because when you're getting into a home, you never know what's going to come up. Whether something breaks early into you moving into that home, or just any sort of life event that happens, you want to have a rainy day fund and something to fall back on for worst case scenario. So here are three ways to preserve your cash when you're buying a home. So number one, and this is my favorite, is getting seller concessions. What that means is instead of offering at a lower purchase price for a property that you're interested in, let's say a home is listed at $300,000. A lot of the time, the first instinct is to offer a lower purchase price. So let's say 275,000. Now, instead, what you can do is offer the 300,000 and ask for $10,000 to $15,000 in seller concessions, meaning the seller's giving you that money to use either towards your closing costs or to buy down your interest rate. Now, what that can do is keep more money in your pocket, or if you're more concerned about your monthly payment, you can put more money towards your interest rate and get that down so your monthly payment and your rate are going to be lower. Now, keep in mind that depending on the environment of real estate, if homes are going really quickly and there's a lot of competition in the market, you might not always be able to get seller concessions, but if you have the upper hand as the buyer and are able to negotiate, that's a great strategy to keep more cash in your pocket. Strategy number two, and I am fully aware that not everyone has the ability to do this, but if you have family members, parents, grandparents, aunts, or uncles that want to contribute to help you get into your first home, you're able to accept gift funds during the process. So if they're willing to contribute $10,000, $15,000, that preserves more of your cash and you're able to get into that home while still having something to fall back on. A note to add about gift funds is don't have them transfer the money into your account. So when you're going through that process, everything needs to be documented and we need to know where all your assets are coming from. Instead, you'll get a gift fund letter. So whatever family member is willing to contribute, they'll give you a letter stating, I'm going to contribute this much. And then when you get to the title company at closing, they will wire that money directly to the title company. So we want to make sure that everything's documented and it doesn't require more effort and more paperwork on your side. The third strategy, and one that I personally use as a last resort, is to get a down payment assistance loan. So what that means is an institution, wherever you get it from, is willing to give you the money up front, and they're either forgivable or non-forgivable. So a forgivable option means that you don't have to pay that money back. Now, the caveat there is you're likely going to be trapped in that mortgage for a certain number of years. So some places might say, we're going to give you this money, but you have to stay in this loan for the next 5 to 10 years. So that keeps you from being able to refinance or sell that property unless you want to pay off that extra lien. So you would have to pay the difference of whatever's left on that down payment assistance lien if you were to get out of the loan. A non-forgivable option, there are some of the same limitations, but that means that there's a second lien on your mortgage. So you're going to be paying that back as you pay your mortgage payment. So it might be spread out over the first 10 years of that loan that you're going to be paying back that lien, but it will still keep you from getting out of that mortgage. So again, if you're going to refinance or sell that property, you'll need to pay off the rest of that second mortgage. So there are limitations to it, which is why I like to keep this as an absolute last resort. But for someone that it will allow to get into the market and get into your first home, it can be a great option depending on how long you're planning to be on the property.